Howdy y'all, Dean Stilley here from the official home of unofficial Grateful Dead and music news, reporting on Dead and Company from Lockn. I'm not a huge fan of festivals, but I am a huge fan of documentaries, and one of my favorite documentaries is March of the Penguins. And that's a documentary about the mating rituals of penguins. They travel to the middle of nowhere, they risk life and limb to perpetuate the species. I'm not sure why they don't just fuck where they are, but they go to the middle of nowhere in order to do it. It's a great movie. I highly recommend it if you haven't seen it yet. And Lockin's kind of like March of the Penguins for Wooks. Wooks from everywhere make the journey, life or limb. They come here, make sure that they preserve the health and vitality of the species. It's the breeding ground for the Wooks, and we're all gathered together enjoying it. A lot of levels here at Lockn. You got the Wook level, you got the VIP, you got the super VIP. Soon you probably have a super duper VIP. I don't know what that'll get you. Maybe take a picture on someone's lap for your Christmas card or something like that. But they got all kinds of things happening here. There's something for everyone, and what a great time! I got to give props to Pete Shapiro. He throws a hell of a party here. This is really it's a special event. Music just everywhere, all day throughout the day, well into the night and morning hours. And what a show! Meyer Sound has this place well reinforced. I mean, the music is flying all over this beautiful piece of property, and we had a great time. Listen, Dead and Company, they were up against it last night because leading up to Dead and Company, you had foundations of funk. You got some of the meters. You got some Neville's. You got some Neville blood in there. I mean, those guys, they don't use their age as an excuse for pace issues. They just go out there and they blast it. They were a ton of fun. George Porter Jr. killing it. Mayer and Weir came out, did a couple tunes with them. Great Hey Pocky Way and Ico, and that was just a great time. Tedeschi Trucks Band's next. I gotta say, maybe one of the best bands playing live music right now. They are absolutely out of sight. I mean, they slayed it back and forth. Derek, I've been following his career. It seems like he started playing when he was a fetus. I mean, he's been on the scene for a long time, and he's still young. I remember his first tour with the Almonds. I don't know. He was young. Frog Wings. I remember seeing Frog Wings. It's just been a hell of a ride for him, and he's the best of the best. Really, one of the best guitarists alive right now. And man, he got into it last night. They gave you everything they had. That was Tedeschi Truck set. Might have been the set of the day yesterday. And that leads up into the Dead and Company set that we're all excited for. That's why I'm there. That's what brought me out. And so we get things underway with that little jam that leads into Hell in a Bucket. You could tell it was Hell in a Bucket immediately. It had all the little tones happening in there that kind of let you know that it started out in tricycle. I gotta say, it was like some old guys on the adult tricycle, big orange flag up in the sky, moving a little bit on the slow side, especially after you just got slammed by Foundations of Funk and Tedeschi Trucks. It was moving along a little sluggish. You get the Scarlet next. Kreutzmann's hat's on backwards. You're thinking, buckle up, this one's going deep. And I don't blame him for throwing the hat on backwards when he looked at the list they were going to play. It's a backwards hat kind of set list for sure. Scarlet was a first set Scarlet. Usually they wait till they're a little better lubricated later in the night until they get to that. I was waiting for those waves of sound to start crashing through the crowd. That never really happened. It kind of just Brown Eyed Women's next. And you get Brown Eyed Women's good. It's always a winner for this band. They did a great job with that one. Ramblin' Rose comes up next. Caminti just bending time and space with the piano on that one, just owning that one. That's well worth listening to just for Caminti's contributions. Alabama Getaways next. Great job on that. They haven't figured out how to extend that one. That one is clocks in around 7 minutes every time they play it. Haven't figured out how to extend it, but it sounded good. We jump into the deep end of the pool next with Cassidy. That one got confusing in all the ways you want to be confused. deal closes out the set. All in all, that first set, not as rusty as I assumed they might be. Uh, not the fire that maybe can look like on paper, but and not as rusty as I thought they might be. We're having a good time. It's almost not even fair to review show you're at because it's too colored by your experience. We're having a blast. We're all hooked up. We're free ice cream and beverages, and this is just too much fun. The music, not even the sound, better than it was to me. Anyway, to get to the second set, this one on paper is a dream come true. You started off, you help slip fire. Listen, twice in their career, you get help slip fire. You go back to, September of '91, opening night at Boston Garden after an incredible run at the Madison Square Garden, and they open up that first show, the second set, with help slip fire. Maybe not the same impact, when Dead and Company do it as when the Grateful Dead did stuff like that. I think Dead and Company kind of has to mix things up to keep it interesting. When the Grateful Dead did stuff like that, it shook the foundations of the earth, you thought. Anyway, Help Slip Fire was a good time. O'Teal spaced a little bit on the last verse of that Fire. I think he just might have been shaking his ass and all deep into the groove. Maybe forgot he even had another verse to sing. But it was no big deal. We were high-fiving, loving each other, happy to get Help Slip Fire, jamming with my buddy Chris. I felt that coming after the Hell Scarlet. You get the Help Slip. I'm thinking here we go. We get Help Slip Fire. Good time. China Rider comes next. At this point, I'm thinking, the mayor does the interview with Gary Lambert and David Gans, and he talked about being very mindful of overplaying. And J-Rad, very popular. Love J-Rad. Very popular. Their popularity's rising incredibly. They overplay the fuck out of everything, and people love it. I'd rather see you err on the side of overplay than underplay. And so anyway, Mayer says that he's very mindful of overplaying. And it seems like what happens when you feel that way is the correction almost is to swing too far in the other direction and just underplay everything. And to me, everything was a little underplayed last night. The fire never seemed to really have too much fire to it. The rider, I don't know when that became a lullaby, but I mean, that just was mellow. I was waiting for Mayer to dig into that one, the whole band to dig into that one. That one just never seemed to take off. It was just very anemic, the jams on those tunes. The rider ends abruptly, almost like the set was over, and then they get into drums in space, as expected, and that was just fine. Coming out of space, the jams, you think it's the other one. I don't know, maybe it's Dancing in the Streets. Sounded like they had some Dancing in the Streets there, and that's the other one. I don't know, maybe this could very well be New Speedway. No, it's not New Speedway, but O'Teal finally just let he let you know it's definitely the other one. Fires off the opening notes of the other one. Party gets started with that. You go into Wharf Rat. Not one of my favorite Garcia ballads on Weir. He was full Shatner on that one. The harmonies in that one used to just make every hair on your body stand up, really make you just contemplate all the deeper things of life. The harmonies on that one for Dead and Company are atrocious. They never were very good, and they aren't getting any better. That one could curdle milk. The sour as fuck on the harmonies of Wharf Rat. But then you listen, Wharf Rat Franklin's, you go back to Red Rocks, late 70s trip to Red Rocks. We get Wharf Rat Franklin's. That's a good time. I was waiting for Mayer once again to just really just kind of dig into the Franklins. And a little bit underplayed everything, I think. Everything seemed a little bit underplayed. A great night, a great song list, a good night, I guess, well-played night. Not great, but a great time, for sure. I mean, an outstanding time. Then, listen, here we go. It's been an outstanding show. They come out, what do you get for an encore? You get The Wake. And, to clear up confusion, because people think I don't like the song, I love the Grateful Dead doing The Wait. I was there the night they busted it out. When the opening line came out of Garcia's mouth, I thought it was outstanding, was happy to hear it. It was always a song I liked. I like the band's version. I like what Aretha, God rest her soul, did with that song. It's just Dead and Company. It's The Wake. That last verse by Weir sounded like a death rattle from a hospital bed. Totally atrocious. I'll say this: definitely wasn't as bad as the prior ones have been. It was better than it has been. It was in a better position, and I definitely didn't hate it as much as I usually do. As soon as I started playing it, my phone blew up. 200 Facebook messages, texts. The minute they start playing it, phone blows up. I gave zero fucks. I was walking for barbecue. At that point, I said, you know what? Fuck this. I'm going for Hamageddon. I'm going to go get some barbecue there up the hill. So the Wake and Saturday night was good walking music to head for some barbecue. All in all, a good night, a great time, a good night, and I had a blast. Listen, tonight's going to be the motherfucker. Tonight, you got Brantford. Everyone's going to be on their best musical behavior there tonight. I can't wait to get there. I can't wait for the sun to go down and for us to get these guys together with Brantford. Boy, he adds something to the party that just has everybody at the top of their game. He's the kind of guy, when you throw him in the game, elevates everybody's play. So I'm really looking forward to that. I'll see you all over there. Love you forever. Love you long time. See you in a few